Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Aries for the season of Scorpio, which is starting around the 19th of October through to the 19th of November. So let's see, Aries, what's in store for you. Scorpio being a water sign, so intuition will be at its peak, hopefully. So be intuitive, Aries. Try to just listen to your intuition rather than logic or anything else this time, because it'll serve you well. Okay, energy around you guys is the Tower. So structures that are no longer useful to you are going out. And the Tower depicts that, in that, you know, this structure is old, it's on fire, it's been struck by lightning, therefore it's rendered useless. So whatever that may be, Aries, it might be a habit that you've been trying so hard to sort of kick, or it might be just even the job you're in, the structure you're in, anything that sort of has been there for a while, but you're sort of feeling like, oh look, you know, it's really not serving me anymore, so I need to do away with it. But the best thing about the Tower is that once it's sort of removed and it's collapsed, basically, because it's going to, is that something new can take its place. So this is really, you know, this is positive for you, Aries. So let's see where you are right now here. The Empress. So abundance coming through. Very female energy, very much. This Empress belongs to the Cancerian people. Female and male alike, so there's a lot of water around here too. It's a very much a water-based product or card. It sounds like something you'd buy. But yeah, it's just sort of really being mindful of what you're doing, how well you're doing, and just abundance becomes abundance. So things going well for you, hopefully. We'll see with the rest of the cards what they aspect it as, but it's just generally a time of doing really well. For females, of course, and male counterparts, could signify a pregnancy coming through as well, depending what the other cards in the 10 card reading bring up. But of course it's not going to resonate with all of you, but let's just see. But it's about being that very feminine energy, very much abundance being available to you. It's about you just being aware of it. And plus, going back to what the energy is with the Tower, well, maybe if this is pregnancy for some of you, of course, you know, that structure around you is going to change greatly, because pregnancy changes the body, it changes the life. So we'll just see where it is. But anyway, and anyhow, it's a really nice card. What's put that on is the Six of Coins. So there you are, a very hard-working card, but also a card of partnerships, a card of very earthed as its coins. So it's talking about, you know, equal giving and taking in a situation. So if this is a work theme, usually this is sort of just about earthy things. This sort of says, look, you're doing really well with how you're going in life at the moment, so just go with that. Very balanced as well, and very much a giving and taking sort of energy. So it looks really nice for you. So in fact, then the Empress really is aspected well here, sort of saying you're on the right track, you're doing what you need to do, this is right for you. So go with it, Aries. It's a wonderful way to start. The background of the situation, so the last couple of months or weeks, whatever that means to you in this context. Two of Coins, so there you are, juggling, things going quite well, even in terms of if this is, you know, job, whatever it is, it's like you've had everything in a nice balanced way. It's been very sort of juggled well. You're quite earthed, but you've got decisions to make around where to next in terms of material life, in terms of home, whatever it is. There could be 2 jobs happening here too, 2 jobs, making a decision to keep one or keep 2. But it's all that sort of earthy type of environment that you've got around you at the moment. So look, it looks great actually, Aries. Recent influences, 4 of Swords, and that's you the last couple of weeks, perhaps the last week. It comes in quite, you know, usually since the last reading anyway, Aries. So just sitting back, being a spectator rather than a competitor. Just observing the scenario around you. Maybe you've been sort of working hard and just felt the need intuitively to just have a bit of a break and take a step back and have a look at what you have done. Be observant about where you want to go, what you want to do. So that's the 4 of Swords. And it's very, 4s are always consolidating. So they sort of stack up well, and you sort of stand back and look at something you're building, or look at something that you've created and think, yeah, well, that looks really good actually. I'm quite pleased with what I've done. And for Aries, this is great because it sort of does give you that time and space to be able to take a step back and have a look about what's been going on and have a bit of a rest, Aries, because particularly you guys are very fast moving, as we always talk about. So there you go. That's been necessary. And in the time of Libra too, it's quite an interesting card to sort of just, you know, step out a bit. And Libra is the opposite, polar opposite of Aries. So there's a connection there as well. Perhaps, you know, just having a break from your normal fast moving energy, Aries. Okay, so let's see the lesson you'll be learning. Another 2 of Swords. So being stuck. Now this isn't major, this is a minor arcana, so it talks about decision to be made, but you're wavering. You're sitting there thinking, yeah, one day it's yes, the next day it's no, the next day it's I'm not sure. But because it's not major, it sort of asks you just to break through that barrier and just make the decision. Just do it. Because otherwise you'll be just stuck. It's almost like being in limbo, really. Like you're not here, you're not in heaven, you're not on earth, you're just floating somewhere in the middle, anguishing over this decision. So the best solution is just to make the decision and therefore be able to move forward, Aries. So this is quite interesting, especially with the other cards we already have. The near future, so, and we have Scorpio, death. So this is that transformation. And death is always a scary card, as I always point out, but it's also, it actually means transformation. It's like going from one thing to another. It's like a season changing from winter to spring. And we navigate this anyway. So with this Scorpio card, it really is about going the full 9 yards in terms of finishing off what you started. So going back to the energy around with the Tower, it's like, yeah, well, you know, something's no longer sustaining you, something's no longer, you know, giving you what you wanted. It's you know, it's crumbling. So you make the decision, you move forward, and you jump on the wheel of transformation. And it's great actually, because if there's something that you wanted to give up, or perhaps if you are pregnant, yeah, you'll go through, your body will go through a massive transformation, Aries. It will grow and it will change, and it's wonderful. So it fits in really well with what we've got here so far. But yeah, it's a great thing to be able to jump on that wheel of transformation and just know whatever you've left behind, it's for a good reason, and look forward to how you're going to end up at the end of this cycle. So it's really good. And Scorpio too being a very cleansing sort of a season. So it's about going in, you know, when we go dive into a beautiful body of water and you come out, you come back to the surface, and you just feel refreshed and invigorated. That's the story of death or transformation. and you can get it this month, or this season, sorry, with that Scorpio card. What's happening that you're not realising? And then we have beautiful Page of Cups, so new beginnings of emotional business, whatever you're connected to emotionally. And this is probably the carry on from letting go of the things that no longer serve you with the Tower to move on. And here's your new beginning, emotionally being connected. But also it's a water. This Page of Cups is a water. Connected to the water sign. So it's about, you know, emotional beginnings. So starting something again, growing something new, being attached to something that you know you can grow, and you can sort of see how it works out and just go and make it grow and grow and grow. So it's a very satisfying card to have in terms of letting go, and then new things come in. Old things go out, new things coming in. And especially with death, that Scorpio card there in near future, it's like, yeah, there's going to be a really positive outcome with the transformation that you're about to embark on. So there's no reason to be dilly-dallying around with the decision, Aries. How others see you? The 10 of Swords. So, yeah, difficult ending to a difficult situation. Sorry, that came out wrong. An ending to a difficult situation. It's almost like a jail, the bars there. And so it's like, I sort of say it's the getting out of jail card, but we make the jail ourselves sometimes. We put ourselves in there. So this is how other people have been seeing you, quite conflicted with a lot of stuff. And once again, it's an air card. You know, Swords is air. We've been in Libra. We still are at this point of the reading. But yeah, this is coming to an end. So you're navigating well, Aries. And those that know and love you are seeing you as, you know, getting through this difficult situation triumphantly as well, Aries. So it's really amazing. Let's see what you're feeling positive about in Scorpio season. Another air sign, the Knight of Swords. So yeah, expect the unexpected. And because this reading is quite well aspected with earth signs, earth cards and air cards and big major cards, it's sort of saying, well, expect the unexpected. So this Knight here, he comes in, it's a very unexpected because he comes in really fast, really hard, and sort of disrupts things. But sometimes we need to be disrupted in order to sort of stop and think, oh, hang on, what does that mean? What was that message about? What did he want? This could be a person coming in and out of your life, or he might come in very abruptly but won't be there long. It's usually talks about a male, sort of young male energy that might come in and go out. They never sort of stay very long, but the messages, because it's swords, are usually quite, there's quite an interesting message to their presence and their arrival that you can take away, and it shakes things up a bit. So this is good also for you, especially in the context of where we are. We, you know, it's a big month. The outcome. And then we have Judgment. So we have finish up the outcome of Judgment. So really clearing all that karmic debt, whatever's been going on, you know, for you in the last couple of months. Finally, you're sort of going to get to the end of that cycle, and you're going to think, oh my God, I've cleansed myself in the Scorpio waters. I'm fresh. I don't have any debt karmically to other people. In karmic connection is usually other people in our lives. That's sorted out. And I'm ready for the new. What's coming? What's new? What's my next cycle going to be like? But it's a hugely karmic card, so it's a really great way for you to end up for the Scorpio season. I'm just going to put some clarification cards on a few. I'll put them on the Two of Swords, because that decision can often be a real bugbear where you just can't, you just can't seem to sort of reach a conclusion with it. So there's a few we're putting on. So on the background, in the Two of Coins, so that was the background. So a decision to be made in terms of material work, all those sorts of things, you know, in an earthly way. What are we going to decide? Where are we going? we have the Eight of Cups. So indeed, if it's a work situation, a love situation, emotional situation, it's sort of leaving it. It's leaving it because it's no longer sustainable. If you can see it, he's swimming around in a sort of a contained area. And it's just not, he's bored stiff with it, and it's not really going anywhere. It's just he's contained. So it's a moving on card. So that's brilliant. So just make the decision and move on, Aries. So underneath our other 2 card, which is the 2 of Swords, we'll see under the surface, and we have the 8 of Swords. So new beginnings coming out of this indecision. You make a decision with clarity, and it's really sort of ends a difficult period as well. So just go ahead and make it, Aries. Don't worry anymore. Just make that decision. It's going to be really good for you. How others see you, 10 of Swords. So the end of a difficult period, we have the 9 of Cups. So yeah, difficult period comes to an end, and then we have emotional 9 of Cups coming in, the Wish card. So what's next, more or less, and Cups will sort of open up the possibilities for you. Where do you want to go next? Finally, on the positive, what you're feeling positive about, we're looking at underneath the Knight of Swords, expect the unexpected, the Tower. Yes, and maybe this Knight of Swords came in very quickly, and it was your thought process, or whichever way it came to you, and you just thought, right, I've had enough. I'm going to just quit what I'm doing. I'm going to do this. If it's a pregnancy, yeah, it came in quite unexpectedly, particularly if you were waiting for it. It's good. The Tower is going to remove, you know, things that are no longer sustainable, and it provides you with new beginnings. Really nice, actually, Aries, sorry. I just love that. Now I'm just going to pick out one clarification card from Buddha reading cards for you. Pure thought. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Look deep inside your heart and question the motivation for your thoughts as well as their truthfulness. Do they lead to happiness? When you can remove your own personal fantasy stories from your thoughts, you'll be able to embrace reality simply as it is and understand that there is a divine purpose to everything that happens to us. Beautiful card, Aries. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you have a really good Scorpio season, and we'll talk next time.